Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Prep Talk. I'm Russ Robinson, voice of the Patriots. Hey, there's a lot going on the campus of Jackson Prep this week. Of course, last week, the Patriots had a halftime score of 28-20. Yazoo City playing this a little bit close. Then at the end of the night, not so close. It was 70-20 was your final score, and the Patriots now get ready for JA. You're probably wondering what this is. This is a tailgate container that you can find at the Patriot Shop, which is open on game days here at Jackson Prep. It's kind of a neat deal. Keeps all your stuff hot and cold, and so you're going to want to go by the Patriot Shop and check this out and keep all your food either cold or keep all your stuff warm with this tailgate bags. Of course, you got the Prep colors, and it's all good. Also, congratulations to John Marcus Duncan and his soccer girls. I was at the game. A lot of folks were at the game. The student section showed out and mastered a great night. And Jackson Prep won the state championship under John Marcus Duncan by a score of 2-0 over JA. And Bobby and I were talking about it coming out of the stadium, and somehow we just kind of thought it's just a little sweeter. Winning it is great. It's a little sweeter when you win it on the road at JA. Tonight, Friday night, we are at home against JA, so we'll be talking about that. Lot to cover here on Prep Talk, so keep it right here. We'll all start it all in just a moment. Keep it right here as Prep Talk continues.
There are all kinds of letters we need to remember, like ABC, ESPN. But here are some letters you need to remember as well. GAF. That is the best roofing products on the market today, and that's why David Wilbanks and Elite Roofing use GAF. When you deal with Elite Roofing, you know you're receiving the best product, best installation, and best warranty in the market. Call Elite Roofing at 601-856-9426. So when it comes to your roof, you are the letters ABC.
Southern Ag Credit has been financing life outside the city limits for over a century. Whether it's helping families own land they can grow with, or farmers manage the land they grow on, Southern Ag Credit specializes in financing life outdoors. Let us finance your rural dream. Visit us online at southernagcredit.com.
Jennifer Mooneyham and the staff at For the Family Healthcare provide personalized healthcare for all ages in a comfortable environment. With a new address at 112 Lake Vista Place in Brandon near Community Place Retirement Home, it is convenient to residents in both Madison and Rankin counties. Health services include anything from wellness checks to the treatment of acute and chronic illnesses. Visit For the Family Healthcare for all of your healthcare needs. For the Family Healthcare, 112 Lake Vista Place, Brandon, Mississippi.
The Rogue includes an in-store support of clothing, sportswear, and furnishings. They also provide made-to-measure services for suits, sport coats, pants, and shirtings. They have 3 in-house tailors to provide any alterations suitable for your clothing needs.
The Rogue has been dressing men and families in Jackson for over 50 years. Owned by a prep graduate, The Rogue supports Jackson Prep. Come by today and see the latest trends.
Located at 4450 I-55 North, Jackson, or visit our website at therogue.com.
Welcome back to Prep Talk as we get ready for JA. It's JA week here at Prep, which is always a huge week. Nobody knows that better than this man on my right here, Matt Butts, who is one of the coaches on the coaching staff on the defensive side of the football. Matt, you know, the teachers here give out grade report cards, give out grades. Coaches don't necessarily give out grades so that everybody can look at it, but I know that you grade players. Grade this defense as a team, not necessarily one person, but as a team from where they were when we opened up the season.
Oh, I would say we're definitely an A minus. We've gotten a lot better as the season has gone on. We've had some games where we played. The one constant thing that we've done a great job of is stopping the run. This year, teams have had a hard time running the football on us, and that's good. The passing game, a lot of that is going to depend on matchups, and sometimes I think teams can take advantage of some matchups sometimes. But overall, one thing I think that we're starting to get a little bit better at is tackling in space. Now, we missed a big tackle in space last week, and the play went for 79 yards. But we're getting better at tackling. We're getting better playing past defense, and I like where we're playing defensively.
Well, and you add to that you're rotating kids in and out, and especially in that secondary. Murley comes in and plays really, really well. Came out of nowhere, really. Plays well. Josh White, you know what you get back there. But the corners, you got Major on one side and Micah on the other. Last week, they kind of picked on Major a little bit. They picked on Micah one or two times too many, and he picks them off. But I think overall, as a defense from the linebackers on back, which is your area, I think they're getting real stingy back there.
They are, and they're kind of enjoying a little bit of a challenge. Hey, look, you give up three big passes early in the first half. And, when you play defensive back, it's kind of like playing quarterback. If you blow a coverage and they score, everybody knows who was responsible for that, And the thing I like about our guys, and one of the reasons why I like coaching defensive backs is, hey, we're going to challenge them by playing a lot of man coverage. Sometimes we're not going to win, but the vast majority of the time, we've been able to win. And you look at their passing yardage last week, and 90% of it came in the first half.
3 plays.
3 plays. And the guy was 12 of 31. That's not a very good completion percentage.
That's a long night as a quarterback.
And obviously that helps when we're getting great pressure on the guy, on the quarterback and stuff. But we made a little adjustment at halftime, talked to those guys a little bit. They came out and had 2 picks, one for, one a pick 6, which is a big play, no matter what the score is.
And, your offense was clicking on all cylinders, which then allowed, because the defense turned the ball over to the offense. You look up there, we go in 28-20 at the half, and I'm going, what's going on here? At the end of the ball game, they are going, what's going on here? Because they got 70 hung on them. But you're right. I mean, those 3 plays were pretty much their whole night. Mm-hmm. And I think the proof is when you break the stats down, they had like 307 yards in the first half passing, wind up with 326 yards, 28 yards in the whole game, which means they got nothing in the second half. You said you made adjustments. What adjustments did you make?
Well, one of the things, if you're going to play man coverage, you're going to have to be able to get your hands on receivers off the ball. And a couple times we didn't get our hands on the guy. And then when you have a guy who's able to run by your guy, you put a guy over the top of him. And as soon as we did that kind of, we just put Will Walker over there and didn't really play a normal coverage that we would. It was kind of a junk coverage.
I was going to say, we used to call it like a rover coverage or something like that, where everybody had claim to some area if that's the way the play was going.
Yes, sir. And so as soon as we did that, and that kind of took that away from there, they really didn't have.
You exposed what they had or what they didn't have.
Yes.
And what they didn't have was a running game. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go into the second half knowing they don't have a running game, that they're going to throw the football. That then allows those defensive backs to listen to the adjustments, make the adjustments they're going to make. And when you take their passing game out, there's only 2 things you can have. And if you take both of them out, that's what happened. All right, all the warm fuzzies out of the way, 70-20, great ball game.
Yep.
Great. This week, and you've been around here long enough to know what this week is. It's JA week. And, of course, much ado was made about the MRA game, and I get it. I mean, it's because we were ranked 1 and 2. This week, though, toss the records out, okay? Toss what they've done up to this point out. Even toss where the game is being played to some degree out. It's JA and it's prep, and those were kind of the first 2 that started this deal. And so there's a built-in rivalry there that goes from year to year, from player to player, isn't there?
Absolutely. All of our guys know all of their guys, and vice versa. And it's a lot of fun to coach this week because it doesn't take a lot to motivate the players to come out and want to play well. I told you earlier that I felt like one of the areas and we still need to improve on tackling a little bit. So with the DBs yesterday, we had a little tackling circuit during our specialty period, and I'm telling you what, they were getting after it. But it's fun whenever you play JA because your players are going to do whatever it takes to be prepared to. And JA offensively, they run a lot of different formations at you.
They do. Now, they've not really found themselves offensively because some weeks the offense will be there, some weeks it won't be there at all.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, they give you a lot to have to prepare for because they have a whole bunch of formations,
A lot of misdirection.
a lot of misdirection, a lot of option. And, anytime you play a team that is a true triple option team, you have to know who's accountable for the quarterback, who's accountable for the dive, who's accountable for the pitch. And so yesterday in practice, that's defensively was a lot of walkthrough stuff, just going over our responsibilities and being able to align appropriately to every formation. So,
this game has determined who wins this conference for many years, or it has determined the seeding of who plays. This is one of those games. I don't necessarily think it's a trap game, but if you're looking at the next three we got to play, this one is the biggest one on the docket right now.
sure it is. It's the next game. It's the next game up, first of all. And, obviously we want to be able to secure a bye.
Absolutely.
We want to be able to secure a bye, and for us to do that, we know if we win the next three games that we're going to get a bye, and that's where we want to be. We want to host that playoff
first game,
game. So, but in order to accomplish any of those goals, it all starts with Jackson Academy this week.
All right, so offensively, they can put on some points on the scoreboard. Defensively, we can shut a lot of people out. How is your feeling? What is your feeling? Because there's two schools of thought. You get up 35, 40 points, you want to bring some kids in and let them get some playing time. Or they move the football all the way down toward our goal. See that smile? I know he knows what I'm going to here. You want to preserve that shutout, but you want to get kids in the game.
Absolutely.
Which is more important?
Well,
that's a trick question, by the way.
that's a trick question, especially when you're playing a team like JA. Look, you'll never go wrong getting kids in the game, though, because
That's true.
Because at some point, those guys are going to have to. They're the future of your program, and
Maybe the next week.
and it may be the next week. And so, when you get an opportunity to play players, it's really important that they're able to get in the game and get some. Nothing beats game reps. You just can't. You can't simulate it. And then you take, especially, we always play fast in high school football, but the JA prep game is
A little faster.
a little bit faster. And to get a rep, just to get a rep at that speed, I think is important for the development of young players.
And keep in mind, this team knocked us out last year of a trip going to Mississippi College, and that, I talked to a lot of them after the ball game last year. That stung, and of course, the juniors and sophomores that I talked to last year after that game, they were circling their calendars for this ball game because that one stung. It kept us out. I personally felt like we would have given MRA a good game over there for the championship. Might have won, who knows? But like you say, those are games down the line. The one that's up in front of us right now is JA. It is a home game, which is nice, and the kickoff will be at 7 o'clock with the pregame starting at 6. Coach Matt Butts, thank you for joining us today on
Thank you very much.
Prep Talk and breaking down the defense for us. I personally love shutouts, but y'all do what you need to do. We will take a time out here on Prep Talk. There's so much going on around this school. We got segments everywhere today, and one especially about the soccer winning the state championship this week. So keep it right here. Prep Talk continues in a moment.
Part of the enjoyment for me is interacting with patients.
I feel like we form a close bond with the patient as they're going through their ailment, their surgery, and their recovery.
As well as the new building, we now have our own physical therapy and our own surgery center.
I think sometimes you take for granted how vulnerable patients are. Enormous amount of trust they're putting in us to do the right thing.
You want the people you're operating on to trust you, you want to become friends with them, and you want them to have a good outcome.
Here at Capital Ortho, we look forward to seeing you and treating you.
Since 1968, Ewing & Ray has been leading the way as the area's premier foundation repair company. With our state-of-the-art equipment, licensed professional engineers, and certified technicians, we are able to ensure the right solution with the best warranty in the business. Whether you have drainage problems, need foundation repair, or need a specialized foundation system installed, for over 50 years, Ewing & Ray is a trusted source to ensure your home or business is safe and stable for years to come. Contact us today by visiting our website or giving us a call.
You haven't had good chicken until you've had Super Chicks. Super Chicks is made with 0 preservatives, 0 phosphates, and 0 dyes. There are many sauce options and a fresh new frozen custard every week. Everything is made 100% cooked to order, so it's very fresh. There's also many fry options such as salt, rosemary pepper, sweet, and Cajun. And don't let me forget the loaded fries. Super Chicks is a great place for prep friends and family to connect after events. And it's so good.
The Tire Depot, with locations on Old Fannin Road in Brandon and on Terry Road in Byram, they're your neighbors and they appreciate your business. More than just a tire store, they offer alignments, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, shocks, struts, leveling kits, and a whole lot more. They are family owned and operated. All of their techs have 20 years or more of experience. The Tire Depot, owned and operated by a Jackson Prep family.
Visit Eric Stallworth at Acura of Jackson, 828 Adcock Street, Ridgeland, Mississippi, 601-978-2228.
Welcome back to Prep Talk as we get ready for JA. It is JA week, which means a lot of things. And it means the kids are going to be pretty busy around here. And boy, do we have two that are going to be busy around here. Sammy Zug and also Thomas Turner. And before we talk about the JA game in the week and all that goes with it, let's go back to Monday night. Girls playing for the soccer state championship. I think if you would have asked people outside the gate before we went in, you may have had 2 out of 10 pick Prep to win that game. Because, I mean, it was over there and all stuff. But when Bobby and I got there, we got in the middle of the stands, and that student section was overflowing. You even had a teacher with a red cape on. That was interesting.
Oh, that was supposed to be
yeah, right. Yeah. And we win the state championship. What were you thinking when we won it?
Super excited. Very hopeful going into it. Obviously, all my friends are playing on there, so big support there. I got the whole student section was amazing. The whole game brought a bunch of energy. I would say it's probably the biggest one that we've had all year. Friday night's obviously going to be hopefully even bigger.
Yeah, probably is.
But I mean, it was electric. Every score was incredible. We had mosh pits almost in it. Everyone was so excited.
Yeah.
Just from last year to seeing us win this year, it was awesome.
It was electric.
Oh yeah.
Sammy, they don't do cheerleaders for soccer games, but they should.
Yeah, but I think the cheerleaders especially enjoy having a game where they can go in the student section and be a part of it. Like, for me personally, like, when there's a theme for a student section, I'm there and I'm dressing out in the theme. I love the sidelines, but it's nice once in a while to get in the student section.
It's interesting you should mention it because I was here, Bobby was here, and Keith Head was here, and we were 3 in the press box most of the time. And I had so many people come up and say, how did it feel just watching the game instead of actually calling the game? Felt pretty neat, you know? Yeah. I mean, you could let it all go how you felt, and nobody's going to say anything to you. But it was a great night. We win the state championship. John Marcus gets his kicks from coaching soccer. We know that. But he's pretty good at it, too, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. He's amazing.
Got some championships to back it up. Now, I've tossed this term out, Thomas, a good bit this year, Patriot Pack. There's a lot of people, because I haven't seen the flashcards yet. I'm sure you're going to get a set ordered.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but there's no, you know, we don't know much about it. What is who's in the Patriot Pack, and who heads that deal up?
So I'm the leader of it. We got a bunch of good guys. It's definitely this year and last year, just being a senior, you can see the diversity of friend groups and who all's in the Patriot Pack. Emerson's down on the sidelines being the Patriot man.
Right.
Does a great job every week. It's kind of hard to spot us because we try to mix in with the crowd, getting everybody involved.
Really?
Turn around,
That's pretty smart.
Getting people involved, yelling at them to scream, and then they scream back, and then we're just all riling up the student section because, I mean, with the band as well, we're kind of carrying the energy. So if we're down, but we're up in the Patriot Pack and the student section, it totally brings up the energy of the game.
You have to try out for this deal?
You sign up for it, and then
weed it out from there.
Exactly, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a nice term to put it. Sammy, if you weren't cheerleading, okay, let's just say that wasn't the route you wanted to go, would you be in that Patriot Pack?
I wouldn't be in the Patriot Pack because that's usually just prior tradition always. You know, you have the cheerleaders, you have the Pacers, and then of course the Patriot Pack is the male-led student section leaders. But I would be a very active participant of the student section.
Okay, well, you know, I've actually seen this student section help us win games that we might have lost.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to me about the impact of having those voices at the games.
I think it's the energy that the students bring is uncompared to what parents can bring, to what the cheerleaders can bring. It's like something of having a community that's backing you, that backs our players, that moves them to push even harder than they probably knew that they could.
Well put, Sammy. What do you think, Tom?
I agree. I mean, all my friends are out on the field, so they're all wanting to be cheered on. I'm wanting to cheer on my friends, so getting the whole student section involved and cheering on Paxton, compared to us saying nothing, he's going to be feeling honestly more pressure. More pressure to impress us, impress his friends, so he might throw a better pass. But then it's also, it just shows support of the team. That's kind of the main thing, is we're trying to support the team, trying to encourage our players, and I think that's what drives the energy.
You know, I've said it many times, I'll say it again, they could make some made-for-lifetime movies out of the pep rallies that you have over here. I mean, it gets wilder. What is this week's theme?
This week is camo. JA is always camo.
Oh yeah, and then it's the Gothic at basketball, right? Over there.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
okay.
basketball season it'll be goth.
So this is camo tonight. And what will you do with that?
Well, of course the cheerleaders are going to dress out for camo. Student section will be in camo for the pep rally.
Boots and everything.
I mean, hey, I encourage all-out theme. For the pep rally itself, we'll have some extra special elements, we'll say. The Patriot Pack will have their own hype video, which
Something up
everyone's
your sleeve,
excited
I'm sure.
for.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
What's it mean, very very quickly? What's it mean to beat JA?
It means, I mean, you never want to say it means everything, but it means like a very special memory and like just the most awesome feeling when you get to run out on the field and congratulate the football players and everyone who put so much hard work into this game.
Honestly, as tough as the loss was against Hartfield in the semifinals last year, beating JA really was the top for me. I was totally okay. I mean, not okay with it, but in a sense, I mean, JA was kind of the big goal. Right. We beat them. It's our big rivalry. And we're better than them at the end of the day in what we're doing.
I'm glad you qualified that statement.
Yes.
But, you know, and the reason I asked that is there was so much done and said and implicated in the MRA game this year. And we'll probably see those guys again.
Right.
But that had more of to what I call a standings, where we're going to be in the standings. We're not talking standings Friday night when it's JA. We're talking about prep and JA, and at the end of the day, who's left standing?
Yeah.
Prep. Every day, all day, all the time,
100%.
yeah.
And you know, the thing that makes it so neat is you know most of those people over there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what makes it really good.
That's that big rivalry.
Yeah, well, I know that y'all will be busy Friday night. I think you're doing a great, of course, the cheerleaders do a great job, and Thomas, this Patriot Pack, you know, you might want to go into getting applications for that deal in the future, because there are going to be so many people that want to be in the Patriot Pack. Well, it'll be a home game. It'll be kickoff at 7, and the pregame will be at 6 on JacksonPrep.live and on 94.3 FM. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, so much going on at Prep these days. You're going to want to know and be in the know of what's happening. So keep it right here as Jackson Prep Talk continues in a moment.
Sometimes opportunities begin where the road ends, where pavement fades to gravel and the sounds of the city scatter in the breeze. This is life outside the city limits, made possible by financing from Southern Ag Credit. From farmstead to homestead and everything in between. Apply for your rural loan today at southernagcredit.com.
Hi, Chuck Smith here from Smith Brothers Body Shop. Smith Brothers has been proudly serving the Jackson metro area since 1946. We consider you to be our friend to ensure the best experience possible. If you've chosen a body shop in the past because they were right around the corner and had a bad experience or you've been treated poorly elsewhere, come see what a difference quality service can make at Smith Brothers Body Shop. Call us at 601-353-5217. At Smith Brothers, you're more than a number. Smith Brothers Body Shop, the best from us to you.
Visit your local Dunkin' at 403 Riverwind Drive in Pearl.
Hello, I'm Jason Womack with Womack Auto Sales in downtown Brandon.
We've been here for 25 years serving the community, and we plan on being here for another 25 years.
Came to Womack's in Brandon. I was looking for a Tahoe. Walked in, the folks were good to me. Hey, look how I ended up leaving. New Tahoe.
Womack's Auto Sales helped me finance the truck of my dreams.
Come out and take a look at our new facility and meet our staff.
Take exit 56 to downtown Brandon. And remember, at Womack's, your job is your credit.
Malone is a company in motion, delivering award-winning roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. With the use of Suprema products like Alsan liquid flashings, Alsan coating products, and more, Malone continues to prove there is nothing we can't accomplish. Protecting people and what matters to you.
Welcome back to Prep Talk. It is JA week here at Jackson Prep, and I've been doing this thing 20 years. This year's my 20th, and it just seems to be the same height on the expectations of this ball game as there always is. And joining me now is Coach Romano, who wants to, we'll talk about the offensive side of the football. I'll ask you the same question that I asked Coach Bud on his defense. You know, here at Prep, you get report cards. Obviously, your teachers grade you. You get report cards. You have kind of report cards for football, but you don't send them home with anybody. If you were going, as a team, give a grade to the football team offense from where we started to where we are now, what would that grade be?
I'd probably give us a B+. You know, we're not playing a complete game all the time, so we show signs of a lot of explosive plays. You know, we had a big week last week with the running back that had to step up with the injury we had with Lake. But just there's some consistency issues. You know, whether it's some play with the receivers one week or play with the quarterback, running backs, and then sometimes, you know, there may be a lineman here or there that will have a mishap. But last week, you know, obviously with the rushing totals that we had, the line played really well. So, and that may be a lower grade than what some other people would think, but just because of the expectations we have for our offense.
I like a man who lives in reality.
Yeah.
You have a running back like Womack who was starting to come into his own.
Yeah.
And I think great days are ahead for this young man. But we lost him during the MRA game, and I kind of saw this. I kind of from the team, I saw some of the shoulders go down, going, "Uh-oh." Talk to me about Lake and what he brought to the team.
Just a level of physicality. You know, a straight line runner with that brings a lot of weight behind him. And yeah, there was you know, Coach Ed kind of brought it up at the time of the injury and when the other players kind of found out what happened to him, and then some of the seriousness with the injury did affect us. You know, the psyche of our team.
Sure.
So it took a hit that, you know, maybe led to some issues in the second half with us being able to score, and we just didn't have the same mentality from that.
Tell you what, I really like that screen pass play to him. We have to keep that one in the playbook, bring it back next year. All right, so Lake is out, and you've got to develop. Well, there goes half of my thunder and lightning. You know, so right now we got lightning, no thunder. So you've got to develop that second and maybe third back. If you can get a fourth, wonderful. But you've got to develop those. And so you go and you dig into the bag. Owen ran extremely well last week. He kind of goes to the front of the class on that deal. But I thought that both your backcourse, Micah ran well, and
Cole.
Cole Gideon ran well. Talk to me about searching for that back.
Yeah, just giving him some in-game experience. Kind of like Coach Butts brought up earlier about in-game reps are hard to really mimic, and we'll see him rep during practice with Cole, and then Mike a little more recently because of the injury to Lake, and but it was just give them an opportunity to run the football and see what they look like on Friday nights, and just try to find the best one that we like, but also that just fits the game plan for that week too.
What does it make a difference what grade they're in? I mean, you might have a senior that hasn't run much, but you got a sophomore down here who's loaded with talent, and in between that, you got a junior that can score a lot. And you say to yourself, well, we're going to have him for 2 more years, but him we're not. Yeah. Does that play into it?
Well, not necessarily. Talent's going to always take over when you have a certain athletic skill set. But I've always been kind of told it's tough to win a championship with sophomores, and that doesn't necessarily have to do with anything of the level of athleticism that they have. It's just the game's played a lot faster
speed,
faster speed, and sometimes that takes a little more to get used to than somebody that's been around it for even if it's just one more season for that. So inexperience has a lot to play with how sometimes it could affect some guys. So
but you're running the same plays that you ran in junior high, basically.
Basically, now we've had a couple of changes with some of the coach staff changes that we have where yes, that we still have some form of buck sweep, of lead, of power and all that, but just a little changes here and there and how the blocking scheme goes with it too. So,
this game, I mentioned to Coach Butts, I mean, you throw the JA game record out, you throw our record out, you throw out whether it's at home or not because they're only 8 minutes from here.
Yep.
And so you take those 2 variables out, and what you're left is what those teams can do, okay? We know what we can do. We've got a balanced attack. They're more defensive oriented than offensive right now. Talk to me about our balanced attack on running versus throwing.
Yeah, I think last week we kind of made a point to really emphasize the run game. One maybe it had to do with finding that a person to step up with Lake out, but also it's just what the defense we were playing against really opened us up for. I mean, we ran outside zone probably 15 times last game, and they couldn't stop outside zone. So there's no point of trying to change things up when it's making that easy. There was a couple times I kind of laughed a little bit because I called play, and then Upton, who normally gets targeted several times, only ended up with 1 catch, kind of looked at me and was like, and I was like, well, that's what. And he came off, after the series, is like, no, look, I get it. They can't stop outside zone. We're going to keep running it. And I said, that's the way it goes for that. So. We have many ways to exploit a defense. It could be over the top with Laird. We can use some length. We see with our tight ends, and then McCraney moving them to the outside.
McCraney has just really added something to this team, hasn't he?
And then just kind of underneath with Upton. But at the same time, we extend the field out of the slot too with Upton as well. So our offensive line is getting better each week, though, and that's really the key. Is the level of play that they've had recently.
I say this, you may disagree with me. If he's not the best player in the MAIS, you don't have to call him many names before you get to Will Upton's name. Yeah. How difficult is it to coach a kid when you know he can pretty much do what he needs to do for you?
Well, he makes it easy for me, especially as a receivers coach. But talented, has great vision, good hands, can kind of understand where he needs to be in the route, but the thing that helps him out is if we needed to, he can line up everybody else on the field. He's a very smart, intelligent football player. That's what we've had to do with moving some people around. We've played a lot of different people kind of outside of him or inside of him at the wide position, and Upton kind of gets us straight with that as another coach on the field for us.
You're talking about his vision. I asked him last week on the pregame show. I said, "Did you see that guy coming across at MRA?" He goes, did not see him." I said, "I did, and I knew what was coming." And he said, "Well, you just have to take the hit." Yeah. Because that's the game, and you're right. He does make those around him better football players. All right, so tonight or Friday night, JA. What do we know about them defensively that could give us a problem outside of that 9th grader that seems like he's got like a size 20 shoe?
Yeah, no, so they're gonna play a 4-2-5, or you may want to call it a 4-3. Now a strong safety. that's at that outside or the star position that we call it. You know, decent size up front. They have huge defensive tackle.
A ninth grader.
Yeah, ninth grader. And then they're going to be young, you know, in certain spots. But they're aggressive, and they're a defense that when things are going really well, they're tough to beat. They kind of feed on the level of play in which they're being successful or not. Pretty aggressive in the secondary. They got two corners that they're not afraid to just match up man coverage. Two really talented corners. Probably one of the better corners too. We'll see. And I believe his last name, number one. I think it's Watkins is his last name. That's been having to use a little bit offensively lately. And then you know, they'll put themselves in positions with blitzing where they, you know, they'll be a little risky, but they have a lot of trust in their secondary to cover kind of the mistakes that they have with the blitz.
You know, speaking of the blitz and all that goes with that, Paxton's called his own number a couple of times here in the last couple of weeks and got big gains out of it.
Oh yeah, so that's the thing. You know, Paxton, especially this past off season running track, there's a difference in his speed. He can run, and we've been successful. You go to the Lamar game, I think he had close to 60, 70 yards running on his own, and that's just another way that we can attack defense that they have to take into account. You know, if we have to,
if they know he can do it.
They know he can do it, yeah, and then it just adds to the run game as well.
Well, it should be a good one. It's JA and Prep and JA. It doesn't matter where they play. It's always a good football game. I'm hoping we get a high-scoring game, only on one side, but I'm hoping for a high score. And we get that sometimes. We may get it tonight. Who knows? But it should be a good one. Coach Romano, thank you for coming by and talking with us. And it's a little bit disappointing you didn't bring some of that pig and you know, maybe a bag or
I'll
something.
make sure to next time.
We will take a timeout. There's a lot going on here at Prep. Soccer girls win a state championship. We'll talk about it in a moment.
At Community Bank, we're always by your side. From keeping your money secured to making payments a breeze.
Hey, do you have a medium in the pantry? Right here. It's $24. Enjoy the show.
And giving you peace of mind when you need it most. So you can get back to enjoying the show. Community Bank, a bank like no other.
16 speakers, 272 horsepower.
Visit Eric Stallworth at Acura of Jackson, 828 Adcock Street, Ridgeland, Mississippi, 601-978-2228.
Ferguson and Associates Architecture is a new generation architectural firm that combines state-of-the-art ideas and solutions with years of experience managing demanding projects. As a full-service architecture firm, Ferguson and Associates provides a complete range of architectural services. They plan, design, and manage the build. From creative concept to ribbon cutting, they're there to ensure your success. Visit their website at fergusonarchitecture.net for more information or contact them directly at 601-607-7933.
Rainey's Carpet Care is a locally owned and operated business that's been providing quality service to Central Mississippi since 1986. They offer 24-hour emergency water damage services, mold and mildew treatment, carpet care, pet odor removal, air duct cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, Oriental rug cleaning, carpet stretching and repair, upholstery cleaning. They offer it all. Visit them online at raineyscarpetcare.com or call today at 601-956-1515.
Bobby Gross called me earlier this week and said, hey, do you want to go to the soccer game? It's for the state championship at JA. And I said, yeah, why not? It should be a beautiful night and cool and crisp. And this soccer team, well, in fact, the soccer program had won this game their freshman year, their sophomore year. Came up a little short last year, but this year they were on last night. And we had a great time at Jackson Academy. And the soccer team won a state championship by a score of 2-0 over what I thought was a really good JA Raider team. But last night, not good enough, as the Lady Patriots, who I thought really was a good team coming in. So much talent out there. They really looked good. We had a lot of fun, a lot of fans. Student section was there. Patriot Pack was there. The drum line was there. It was just a great night over at JA, and winning it by a score of 2-0 made it even greater. Trey Welch had a chance this week to catch up with the soccer program, and he files this report on Prep Talk.
Whole entire time, yelled at each other. There's a couple of times where I thought I did not have it, but my girl B Rad, she was right there to give me cover.
Yeah, and then one time I fouled Addison. She said, "Bradley, you cannot do that." I said, "Yes, ma'am."
And then she bled all over her.
I'm sitting here with the two center backs, Anders Morgan and Bradley Carter, who played whistle to whistle all 80 minutes, as they told me. What was y'all's first reactions when we scored the goals?
Well, Trey, my first reaction was, let's freaking go. Bradley?
I jumped up really high in the air, and then I started full sprinting to who scored the first goal?
It was Tori.
I started full sprinting to Tori, and I gave her a really big hug.
I also thought in my head, do not cramp, because last time we celebrated, I started cramping. So I was just like, don't cramp.
And then the next thing that came to my mind, I was like, all right, we got to be ready than ever because they're about to come at us hard. And in the back, we cannot mess up.
And that's when we dropped back, and that's when it was game on. It's been game on since the very beginning, but, we had to lock in,
I was sitting in the student section, and y'all's Coach Duncan was getting hype. He came over, and as soon as we scored, he was getting us all hype. Like, he was fist pumping, let's go, screaming at us and all that stuff. It was a very fun game to be at. So, anyway.
Tell us about it from the student section.
So from the student section perspective, we were getting hype anytime the ball was kicked down their goal. Anytime it came anywhere close to the goal, you had us cheering. Anytime they were throwing the ball in, we were messing with whoever was throwing the ball in. Paxton Thompson, our quarterback, even grabbed the cymbals from somebody and started hitting them with the. It was so funny. He sits there with the band and he's just clapping them together.
Every time the goalie kicked, we go, oh.
Kaboom! It was so funny.
Balls did go really fast.
Oh my goodness, she could boot a ball.
That was more hype than a football game.
It was so much fun.
It was more hype than a football game. I've been to.
I haven't been in a student section for a football game, so
It's more hype than I've ever been in student section football.
Mm-hmm.
Besides big games, but recently,
Exactly.
most hype game I've been to, and I was playing in it.
Exactly. So, what's the feeling behind you guys beating JA too, as well as winning the championship? Because JA is our big rival.
All right, so last year, JA took the first place title from us at our place, and that stung a lot, and we made sure that we all remembered what that felt like, and going into that game, we were like, we were winning this, and we're taking this back. So it really meant a lot for us to take back the gold at JA this year, so that was really special. Especially a nice, clean shutout, 2-0 win. And what was so unfortunate about the first game, last year's game, is that they scored an overtime in the 97th minute, which was just heartbreaking and destroyed all of us. And so this year we made sure none of that was going to happen again, and everyone kept the same intensity, and we knew that we also had to top Jay's intensity, which I think we did a very good job at.
All right. So that last goal, Emma Reeves, we were watching from the student section. It's on the other side, and she just completely jukes out everybody. Oh, my goodness, it was insane. And then just nailed it through the goal. Did you guys know you were going to win at that point?
I don't like to think about winning or losing in the moment. I'm just I got to play soccer. I'm going to finish this until the end of the whistle, because soccer, you never know. One mistake in the back, you could be down a goal. And then once one goal happens, the next team's intensity can rise up and yours can go down. And so you have to keep the same intensity and mindset. I was still in shock because, the adrenaline, my blood was pumping. I was on a lot of caffeine.
My first reaction whenever she scored the second goal was oh my gosh, right, we're doing this, we're winning, we're up now. But then I was all right, we got to be ready than ever now.
Next question. So, you guys are playing at Jay's home field. Would you have preferred to win at home, or would you have preferred to win on Jay's field and take that state championship from them?
Another thing is we also always play better at Jay for some reason too. So I was really excited to find out that it was at Jay this year, and I was like, we're going to take this back, beat them on their field, and we always play good on their field against them. So yeah. And the atmosphere was insane. It felt like a football game, and it was so much fun, and all the students were very involved, all the parents. I mean, everyone was involved there, and it was really awesome and very special, very special.
It's for JPTV. It's for JPTV.
Very special, very special.
Felt the love.
Yeah, because I remember at the football game that we played Jay last year, they honored the championship winning team on their home field in the middle of our game. Of course, we went on to beat them, so I kind of hope we do that again while we play them this week.
We may not.
Anyway, so did you guys have any of the seniors from last year call y'all and congratulate you guys? Or
Yes, actually, some of my very best friends did. Like all of the seniors from last year, like Josie Duncan, Margie Fry, Dylan, Madeline Black even came back and congratulated us. And it's just so much fun, like seeing them back here because like the program is such like a nice way to get closer with everyone. And like those are some of my best friends that I'll remember forever. And like losing that last year, like especially with them being seniors, hurt so bad. And like they looked at me in the face and they're like, "Next year, you got it." I remember Josie vividly. So this is for you, Joe.
Mm-hmm. It helps a lot getting text from them. It gives you that extra boost of like, all right, like we got this. Like they're all watching, they're all cheering for us, and it just feels really good. And we love them and we miss them so much.
All right, well, thank y'all. Congratulations again. Hope you guys enjoy it as best you can.
Thank you, sir.
Battle scars.
Either someone hugged me or someone sliced you. Sliced me. This is from the trophy.
Yeah. Come here. Come here. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Jackson Healthcare for Women is Mississippi's premier provider of comprehensive OB/GYN care with extensive experience in the latest surgical techniques and services for women, including Cool Sculpting, Mona Lisa Touch, Ideal Protein, robotic surgery, pelvic floor dysfunction, and more. Our award-winning physicians are accepting new patients and are eager to care for you. Same-day appointments are available. Call us at 601-936-9190 or visit our website to learn more. Jackson Healthcare for Women, inspired by you.
Slava's Grill, open weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and on Saturdays from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And make sure to check out the lunch menu.
Sign Mark, your #1 hometown retailer for custom stamps, signs, and marketing products. We're growing and we want to take you, our loyal customers, with us. Whether you have an event, starting a new business, or wish to expand your existing business, Sign Mark is committed to helping you meet your design and marketing needs. Come see the friendly staff at Sign Mark at Pearson Road in Pearl and make your mark in the business world. Sign Mark online at signmark.us or by phone at 601-932-6699.
Week it is here at Jackson Prep. It's JA week, and since 1984, it's always been a big week. That's when JA and Prep played their first ball game, a game that Prep won by a score of 21-6, and the Patriots have never backed down from there. Lost to them on a couple of occasions, lost some big games to them, but it seems like most of the time, more than not, Patriots come out on top of this game. Will that happen this week? Well, we don't know. We are playing really, really well as a football team right now. We've got 3 big ones down the stretch, and that would be JA tonight, Friday night, and also Hartfield next Friday night, and then we'll end up the season down in Hattiesburg with the Bobcats. Isn't it strange that this is the last home game of the season, which means we'll have senior recognition night about 6:50 this week, and it falls on JA weeks. Doesn't get a whole lot bigger than that. By the way, the JA band will perform somewhere around 6:35 until we get to the recognition of the seniors tonight. And then, of course, we'll have our full array of stuff at halftime, as we always do, with the band and the Pacers and the cheerleaders and all that goes with making Jackson Prep athletics and Jackson Prep football what it is. Again, a big congratulations to John Marcus Duncan. If there's a better soccer coach in the state, I've never seen him. I don't think anybody around here has ever seen him. He just keeps winning them and winning them. And this week was no different as he knocked out JAA 2-0, avenging last year's loss in the state championship game. So a tip of the hat to John Marcus Duncan. Well, let's get ready for JA. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. Big thanks to JPTV Kids for putting the show together, for Bobby Gross putting the JPTV Kids together. Russ Robinson saying so long from Jackson Prep. Hope to see you. I'd get there early if I were you on Friday night, because something tells me parking is going to be at a premium, and you don't want to be parking on Lakeland Drive. Good night, everyone. This is a wrap, and I'm taking it with me.